back with more Money in Main Street. It's now time to get you a front row seat with a top business leader on Long Island, Rob Basso. Thanks for joining us today, Rob, for our CEO Sit-Down.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you own a payroll services company, and I feel that this is a topic that a lot of people know on a very basic level. What do you say that payroll encompasses that people have no idea about?
Well, the first thing is most people want to avoid the whole conversation because they think hiring a payroll service or doing a payroll is as simple as writing a check. But that's not really what the payroll service does for you. Really what it encompasses is keeping you in compliance. There are federal laws, there are state laws, there are local, especially in the New York City area, collecting and paying taxes. Last year, small business owners paid out an average of $850 in fines and penalties because they didn't file payroll taxes accurately. That's what the payroll industry does. It keeps you in compliance. And we all know there's ever-growing compliance, whether that's federally or locally. So hire a payroll company.
Now, how much should I expect to pay?
Well, it depends. It depends on the size of your company. Most payroll companies run by how many checks that you print. So let's say you're an average size business, roughly 10 employees, and you pay your people on a bi-weekly basis. You can actually do a basic payroll service for as little as about $120 a month. That's the full compliance work, producing all your checks, making sure that everything's paid on time, doing your W-2s and filing all your quarterly preparatory taxes that need to be done. There's a whole other segment, which is your human resources. People forget that when you're doing your payroll, human resources is a big part of that. Most good payroll companies now offer human resources functions as well.
Are there any new services or technologies out there that can really help the small business owner?
Well, the big thing is a lot of small business owners don't realize that tracking people coming and going is of vital importance. Even if you have a salaried individual or a small company, using technology, the finger scan technology, to be able to track people coming and going from your establishment. So you could be a business owner, you could be on vacation in Bermuda and actually see who's working in your establishment. The reason you use the finger scan technology and not a card or a code that you type in is because last time I checked, you're not going to share your finger with anybody or it's attached to your body. So the simple thing is, if you use some of the technology that exists and couple it with web-based technology, you get a better picture of what's going on in your business at a moment's notice.
But resources are tight. I'm not sure I can afford this fancy
It's not expensive. I mean, you can buy one of the units for $300 to $400, and the ongoing service fees are $15, $20 a week.
Talk to me about a laundry list. The minimum I need to do so that I don't get in trouble with the law.
Okay, if you're not going to hire an outsourced payroll provider, the minimum you need to do is use a program that helps you keep track of your accounting to make sure that your tax payments are made on time. Again, it's one thing to pay your individuals on a timely basis, but the government doesn't even care if your employees get paid. They only care if their taxes are paid. So get a small program that you can either buy on the web. There's lots of programs out there.
Give examples?
There's an example. One of the programs out there is called QuickBooks. Probably 50 to 60% of all small business owners use that for their general accounting. So if you use that program, you can actually do it yourself. The difference is they won't help you with the compliance work. That'll do the bare minimum. The best thing you can do is get a professional. If you don't want to hire a payroll service to do it, get your accountant to help you.
Now, how will Obamacare affect payroll services?
It's actually affecting it pretty drastically because what happens is there's a whole new set of rules and there's different items that have to be taken care of and put on the W-2. So we have to reprogram everything. Every time they change a rule or regulation, all of these things need to be changed in program. And if you're not up on these laws as a small business owner, that's why you generally hire an outsourced professional to do it, because that's our entire business and the industry's entire business is to actually track these things to make sure you're in compliance.
Now, let's say that I don't have any full-time employees, but instead I hire consultants. How do I deal with that?
Well, there used to be a gray area between what's a W-2 wage earner and what's an independent contractor. That gray area has gotten a lot smaller. And basically, you need to be very careful. There's rules that you can find right on the government's website that says this is an employee and this is an independent contractor. New York State specifically is, I don't want to say they're going after, but they're being very vigilant in making sure that you're classifying people properly, because when you classify somebody as a 1099, you're not responsible for paying the matching portion of Social Security and Medicare and some New York State information. The reality is you as a business owner need to be cognizant of this, because if you're on the wrong side of the law, they're going to find out and you're going to pay penalties and interest.
Can cost a lot of money. We want to avoid that.
It certainly can.
All right. Thank you very much, Rob.